break, but he really glued Busty to the seat. Welcome all our viewers in Manila, the millions, who will now be off their seats, presumably, as the maestro, Efren Reyes batter. Gather that's a reference to a previous Efren Reyes, who was a brilliant pool player. Efren Reyes, revered by everybody in the world. In fact, nearly half the people who came here had him as their icon on their programs. And we had the greats here: Strickland, Archer, Davenport, Suke and Oatman. So all the people in the Philippines will be now on the edge of their seats to see if the maestro can get rolling like he did against Bustamante, Jim.
Yes, well, his first real look in here, simply by virtue of a very bad miss by Chang. But again, Steve Davis very notably pointed out, if there are going to be any chinks in the armor, it might be the early nerves displayed by Chang, as we again see that good pop by Reyes, and how important it is for Efren to establish himself in this match.
And one factor that did emerge from his previous game against Bustamante, he played a brilliant snooker early on the blue, but then about 7 racks later, when he was in the clear, he took this amazing length of the table bank to the bottom left. So the thing is that Chang must not let the maestro run 5 or 6, because he is not a guy to consolidate. He will accelerate if you let him off the leash.
And he looks perfectly poised here to take his first rack. It's a race to 17, this final, for the most coveted title in the world. And Reyes just this 9. A little more difficult than he would have liked, though, Sid. No problems for Efren Reyes. And he saved everything. He's brought his A game to the table here. As soon as the sudden death eliminations were presented, Reyes was there. And his break here, nothing down. And if he does have a weakness again, that will be his. So dominant against Bustamante.
Isolated the fact himself, though, that the Bustamante break could have crippled him at any time up against an opponent with not an amazingly powerful break, but generally gets 1 at least from the break. So it's Chang's, shall we say, competence against the genius of the master.
For those of you just joining us, that push out that was just exercised there by Chang, perfectly legal after the break. Even had Efren potted a ball, he would be allowed to push out. No foul there, but that's the only time you can play that shot, is immediately following the break off. And Reyes could put Chang in. Had he made a ball off the break and pushed out, the option to the incoming player to put the other player in. But what a safety.
The double kiss there. Takes an eye like a laser beam to hit one like this. Just watch out. The double kiss was a possibility. Brilliant.
Well, it doesn't look like this cushion's available. The 8 takes that away. So he's just jumping over the 3 here. Have a look at this shot. Not just getting over the red 3, but judging it to pot it, and look at the position on the 2. So very early the fireworks start.
Efren's brought his A game. This lad's working A+ at the moment. What a start to the World Final.
A little bit of a problem, Sid. Position to the 3. You can see he's on the 2. But he's got to weave a path through all these colors to get back for the 3. And he's got to avoid that brown 7 on the left-hand side. straight through, missed the 7, a little bit aside. Looks like he's digging into it with bottom, and you'll see it loaded up here again.
Nearly scratched.
Well, that certainly wasn't where Chang wanted to finish with the white. He can count himself lucky that he's still on the table. And I think he can just get through to this. If he can, you might see him take a bank shot or a double, right center.
Yes,
if he can see enough.
Very crisp on bank shots. He's done 1 or 2 on the middle pockets that were brilliant. Too far south as he stuck it up. It's left an intermediate shot. The red goes onto the brown, bottom left.
Yes, Efren Reyes will be taking that on. But after such a great shot on the 1, Chang would love to have kept Reyes in his chair. Certainly for a longer period of time than he did.
Well, I hope all you millions at home in the UK are taking notes on this. It's one of the biggest ground games sport in the world. And we're sure the Pacific Rim are tuning in. Taiwan. And of course, the Philippines, who have been for some time the world's best at 4-man team events. But this is singles for the biggest prize in the game. Oh, brilliant shot! Howsey nicely on the pink as well.
Yes, he had to straighten out the angle on that. He played that with a lot of left-hand English. To straighten it out off the cushion, Sid.
Well, you might be surprised at some of this cue and all you snooker players and billiard players and 8-ball players. It comes in like a viper with a bent tongue, the cue, but the strike is often lethal. Very loose action, the Filipinos hold the cue. Other people, much more stiff grip on the back arm, but this, it is a feather hold of the cue, as I say, as lethal as an asp.
Well, certainly of the two, Reyes would be a lot more comfortable in a situation like this. He has been in major finals throughout his very esteemed career.
Began playing for money when he was 9 in a relative's pool room in a village called Mexico, Pampanga, and absolute national hero in the Philippines. Wouldn't like to think how many thousands there'll be at the airport if he wins this one when he gets back, Jim.
Well, they're all taking this in back in Asia, so they will know, as will we, the winner of this event. And Efren Reyes gets his nose in front, 2 racks to 1 against Ho Ping Chang.